Hello everyone! This video is the presentation of Hyperone, which was created by Mr. Sam Lee. Several topics will be covered in this video. So the first thing is, what is Hyperone? We all know that the decentralized cryptocurrency market continues to grow at an unprecedented pace, and Hyperone's mission is to develop a new decentralized and distributed ledger system that will be the sidechain for both blockchain-based and non-blockchain systems. To read more about that, you can use the link which is in the description of this video. Now let's talk about Hyperone token called HOT or HOT. HOT is the cryptocurrency of a distributed ledger which links block-based and blockless blockchain systems. We all know about the success of Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have proven the value of blockchain technology and its massive potential in the future. Nevertheless, despite of the ability to be traded unrestrictedly on some centralized exchange platforms, those tokens, due to the fundamental differences in the underlying system, can only circulate within their own blockchain and would not be able to move freely from blockchain-based to blockless system or vice versa. What we want to do is to create a new decentralized and distributed ledger system that will bridge the gap between blockchain-based and blockless systems, thereby allowing value and information to be circulated freely between different blockchains. What are the reasons to join Hyperone? First of all, a highly secure network featuring quantum-resistant signature technology. Second of all, designed to facilitate the exchange of information between blockchains and non-blockchain networks. And lastly, a decentralized and open source. HOT's missions include decentralized autonomous governance, POW plus PaaS hybrid mechanism, privacy-preserving protocols, and post-quantum signature technology. Now let's discuss a very interesting topic about rewards. Being a part of community of Hyperone gives you multiple rewards, such as the Hyperverse Advantage, Hyperone Enhanced Max Out, Hyperone Referral Bonus, Hyperone NFT Miner Stake Reward, and Hyperone Royalty. Do you already want to be a community member? Then you can sign up using the link in the description of this video and subscribe to Hyper NFT worth $100. In this slide, you can see the benefits from $100 subscriptions. You should remember that subscription to Hyper NFT package worth $100 generate 0.5 Hyperone units every day for 600 days. So 1 Hyperone is equal to 1 USD. In this scheme, you can see that only green accounts are eligible for 0.5 Hyperone daily benefit. Now let's talk about all rewards one by one. The first one is Hyperwealth. The Hyperone Wealth program features a two-teams binary system known as the left team and right team. To truly maximize your earnings, you must personally refer to at least 2 affiliates on each your team. The hyper points of both teams are equally matched daily, with payments made in hyper unit, depending on the value of hyper rewards point. So, you can see in the scheme that the left team has 300 HP and the right team has 700 HP. So, 300 HP will match for both teams, which generates 3 HRP, leaving the right team with 400 HP remaining. The remaining 400 HP will generate HRP once the left team will have more HP. In this slide, you can see the summary of Hyperone Wealth explained. Now let's talk about the second reward, which is Hyperone NFT mining. As you can see, Hyperone NFT mining level directly depends on levels qualifications criteria. So the higher levels qualification criteria is, the higher the level is. So in this scheme, you can see the explanation. As you can see, A is level 2 qualifier because it has 3 level 1 on the left and 3 level 1 on the right. So B, E, F, C, G, H are level 1 qualifiers. The green ones do not qualify for level 1. The third reward is Hyperone Enhanced Max Out. Hyper One Enhanced Maxed Out is paid in Hyper units, which can be either transferred or cashed out. Hyper One Enhanced Maxed Out is paid also on a daily basis based on your mining level. In this table, you can see the Hyper Max Out amount depending on each level. The fourth reward is Hyper One NFT Miners Staking Reward. Hyper One NFT Miners Staking Reward is paid in the form of Hyper One's Hyper units, which can be either transferred or cashed out. The subscription for Hyper One NFT package from level 1 to level 5 after 400 days will generate mining staking reward to subscribers again for another cycle. However, the subscription for Hyper One NFT package from level 6 to level 12 after 400 days will not generate mining staking reward to subscribers again. Instead, they will be eligible for Hyper One Enhanced Maxed Out and Hyper One Royalty. You can earn up to $1,000 daily by qualifying the top mining level. The Hyper One Mining Staking Reward is also paid daily. In this table, you can find the amount of total tokens earned depending on each level. And the last reward is Hyper One Royalty. The top level community members will have an opportunity to receive 10% of total Hyper One NFT weekly sales volume. Hyper One Royalty will be paid weekly in Hyper units based on the mining level you've achieved. Hyper One Royalty will be paid for 50 weeks. After the purchase, it is valid for another 15 weeks. In this table, you can see that the Hyper One Royalty is only available from level 5 and so on. Don't forget that you can encash your Hyper units in Hcash. The Hcash network has two chains running laterally, with each serving different functions within the ecosystem. The Hcash ecosystem will consist of two chains that include the Hypercash main chain and the Hyper Exchange chain that is derived from the main chain but will work towards bridging communication between blockchains including Bitcoins, Ethereum, and others, and non-blockchains such as DEX. You can become part of our ever-growing ecosystem by purchasing or trading Hcash on any of the following platforms. Now let's discuss terms and conditions. You will receive daily payout in 245 days to 350 days according to mining level. Each time a Hyper One NFT's miner climbs from a lower to a higher level, fresh 245 days of miners staking reward continues. The terms and conditions of Hyper One Royalty include: after reaching levels from 5 to 12, Hyper One miners will be paid with a percentage of Hyper One Royalty pool income as specified in each level, which you can find on the table which was shown before. Level 5 qualifiers will receive pool income each week with no criteria. In order to receive active pool revenue each week, Hyper One Royalty qualified members of levels from 6 to 12 must maintain a minimum of 4% of their total sales volume up to previous week closing. In this slide, you can see Hyper One resubscription terms and conditions. Here, you can learn more about Hyper One wallets. As it was said before, Hyper One's mission is to create a big decentralized community for Hyper One own blockchain, where HUD will be used as a gas fee for blockchain transaction, hence to create direct community engagements for HUD ecosystem building and creating more value for Hyper One token holders from day one. Each user will have Hyper One token in their dashboard inside Hyper One wallet, participate in HUD ecosystem transfer and withdrawal. As it was said before, HU can be either transferred or withdrawn. There are two ways of withdrawal. The first one is 10% fee in HOT. In order to be able to claim HU in Hcash, the affiliates Hyper One wallet must have balance of equivalent to 10% of HU being requested to withdrawal. To withdraw with 0% fee, account value should equal to value in staking. In this slide, you can read more about withdrawing or transferring HU. You can follow us on Telegram or YouTube, and don't forget to use the link which is written below in the description to this video. Thank you for your attention.